What's going on? I'm Petit Monstre, and this is the BlackBox Project. Originally, I was born in Los Angeles, but I moved to Vegas when I was about 8 years old, about second grade, and I've pretty much been here ever since. Apart from adult things like being in the military and stuff like that, but been in Vegas for mostly all my life. I don't remember too much from being in California that much. That much. Spent a short time out there, so I feel like definitely the vibes from out there, though, the laid back scene and everything has influenced me in my art. And then also being from Vegas, just the nightlife, the entertainment side of it has definitely shaped my art as well. So what brought my family here? My dad, he was a construction worker. He's been a construction worker since he was like 17. Both of my parents are originally from Houston, and they moved to LA for construction. Stuff like that was booming out there. And then after the construction, dried up out there, my dad, we actually moved out here to Vegas. So yeah, first moved out here to Vegas, stayed in like a motel for like 2 weeks, and then the rest is history. I joined the Army in August 2011, and then I got out like May 2015. I was not an artist through that experience. I started my artist journey after that time period. Most of my life I played sports, played basketball for my whole life, ran track as well. Played basketball all the way up to college. Went to college in Minnesota, played Division III NCAA basketball. I met my girlfriend out there. Then we were together for a while. And after, I stopped going to school in Minnesota, I moved back to Vegas. And me and my girlfriend were long distance. We ended up getting married, got married. She actually went to the military first. She was in the Navy. And this was around like 2008. And so the job market was trash and everything. So then I decided to join the Army Reserves. So then that's how that happened. Back in 2011. No, I did nothing artistic in the Army at all. I really wish I could have, but in the military they actually frown upon you being an individual. They actually even say that to you. They will chastise you and be like, "Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy, guys. He wants to be an individual." You're like, yeah. Like what? It's all about team. It's all about hive mind. Everybody doing the same thing. Everybody. The military is very,
Could you ever go back to doing something like that now?
Absolutely not. No, it would be absolute torture, for me, because you want to be free. You want to be free to even do little things like if you want to grow your hair a certain way, if you want to cut your hair a certain way, if you want to color it, if you want to, they're always what's in regulations, what's the regulation. When I was in the military, I had a high top fade, and they tried to tell me that. The seniors, they would always try to come and tell me like, "Oh, your hair is too high. It's can't be above 2 inches." And it's a lot of people from the old Army, so it's like I used to have to carry the regulation in my pocket, which says there is no height limit as long as it can fit under your cover, and which it did. So it was just on the inside. When you're inside, you got to take your cover off. So people were like, "Oh, look at this guy. He's trying to be cool with a high top fade." They were just hating on me, and it was that type of stuff that would just eat away at me, because it's like, you're worried about my hair, but what does that have to do with me doing my job though? I'm doing my job, and you're sitting over here just boiling because you think my hair is more than 2 inches or whatever. It's like, who cares? Even before I went to the Army, I said I would never go to the military. I was like, I would never do that. But it was just like at that time, coming into adulthood and you got to look out for yourself. You're like, I need some money. I need to, a direction. I need to do something. So it was right after sports, and so that didn't really work out. And this was like, okay, let me just do this to get in line. And after you get out of the military, a lot of jobs and people they look, it looks good on resumes and stuff like that. So that was really my real thing for getting into it. I used to do a lot of security too, so I knew that I could get better jobs doing that as well. I got married when I was 21, when I decided to go into the military and stuff. After I got done with my military contract, I was really trying to find like another avenue or something else that interests me besides, playing basketball. The ultimate dream was, do the ultimate dream, go to the NBA, do all that. We know that doesn't work out for most of us. So
we all have hoop dreams at one point.
right. So then I was just, but I feel like I've always been a creative. When I was young, I used to draw. I used to really love drawing, like Dragon Ball Z and comic books, Batman, Superman, things like that. So I've always had like that creative thing. After I got done with the military, me and my friend were actually gonna start a men's fashion wear blog. So I was into style too. So all the bloggers that we followed had like really nice pictures, and I was like, bro, these are not just like iPhone pictures. These are professional pictures with like a DSLR. So I was like, we got to get a camera. So I saved up my money, about $500-$600, bought my first camera, which was like a Nikon D3300 or something like that. And then I just started from there. Started walking around here downtown on the strip just with my camera, all for like hours, just shooting. Started following some shooters around Vegas, like Luther Red, Miguel, Mando Hundreds, different people like that. And then, just started figuring out how to use the camera. In that time of me trying to figure out how to use the camera, I fell into the love of photography, didn't even do the fashion wear blog. So, just started going from there. And then, after that, I had got divorced from my first marriage, was doing my photography thing, ended up meeting my wife now. She was a poet, so she's been doing poetry for a long time. She's the current Clark County Poet Laureate. And so, she was seeing some of my work, and the captions that I post under my photography at the time, I would just like kind of make up a poem on the spot, because I didn't like the captions that other photographers put on their photos, because I felt like it didn't have anything to do with the photo, and I was just like, what is happening? So, and I like rap, I like a little freestyle, so I'll write a little thing real quick, and then my wife saw it and was like, oh no, this is poetry right here, you should try to write some poetry. And I was like, I don't know about that. And then she talked me into doing a poetry slam 2020 in the pandemic, because she has a poetry organization. And after that, after I ended the poetry slam, I got like second, and from there it's just been up from there. Yeah, I feel like I was just like, the artist in me was just always suppressed, because I was like just laser focused on basketball, because like that's what I started with, and that's what I really wanted to succeed in. And I thought that, and it's not really a wrong thought, but it's like I thought that focus has to be all on this, like in order to get to where I wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I don't really have time to, delve into these other things. I have to be focused on this. So what really sparked the creativity was just like, once that one journey ended, I needed to start a new journey. And since I already had the creativity in me, it was just like, okay, which creative lane do you want to pick? Because I feel like us as creatives, really in reality, like all of us can do whatever. It's just like whatever we pick. That's why there's so many like multidisciplinary, people that do multiple things, because they, once they try it, they're like, oh no, I can do this. I'm good at it. Like if I really put my brain to it. So for me, it was just like, creativity is also freedom. It's also like, you can do what you want. You can do whatever you want. No one's telling you like, oh, you have to do it like this. You have to color inside the lines. You have to, it's like, you can literally do anything. So that's, I feel like that really what sparked the creativity, is like, oh, I can be free now, especially after coming from the military where it's so rigid and you get up at this time, eat at this time, go to sleep at this time. It's like, leave me the fuck alone. I do whatever I want. So yeah. For me, I feel like the mindset of being an athlete actually helped me in art. A lot of artists look and they say, a lot of artists say, it's only me versus me. I'm, I don't have to compete against this person and this person and this person. Me coming from the sports world, I'm like, okay, but I feel you, but like what then quantifies if this is good and this is not good? You know what I'm saying? If this is the best and this is the worst, we have to compare at some point, right? So it's like, if I say I want to be as good as X so and so Kendrick Lamar, then my level has to be up to that level. So at some point you have to compare. And even with doing photography, people, photographers, they don't like to, compete or whatever. But I feel like it could be a level of healthy competition because, there's plenty of clients for us. But if we're both vying for one client, they're gonna look at both of our works and they're gonna say they have to choose. They can only choose one photographer or one videographer or whatever for their project. So it is a little bit of competition. I don't have to go out and be like, oh, I'm better than you, da 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 da. I take way better bangers than you. But in my head, I'm like, no, I do. So
you scroll on Instagram sometimes, be like,
yeah, I mean, like, why they choose them instead? No shade, but I'm just saying, like, it's a little.
I think I told you.
Yeah. So I keep the competition in there a little bit, but I don't project it onto anyone else. I try not to. Like comic books, I really love the drawings, like how in some of the comic books how detailed they were, like the muscles and everything like that, the shadows, the colors. I really love colors, so I think that really brought my eye to it. Different, all the different comic books back in the 90s, Spawn, Batman, Spider-Man, all the Marvel shit, all the DC shit. So that really intrigued me, and I like the way they were drawn. And I would try to draw it myself. And I'm pretty decent at drawing. If I have a reference, I can't draw off the top of my head, but if I look at something and I can draw it pretty close, without tracing.
What comic books did you read as a kid?
Comic books that I read as a kid was just like, I would just pick up random ones, and mostly because I like the pictures. So I wouldn't even really be like that crazy into the story or even remember the story. I would just be like, yo, these drawings are fire, and I would like look at it, and then I would go through and read. So like, old Ninja Turtles, old Batman, Spider-Man. I even found some Black Panther. Spawn really intrigued me because the drawings were so crazy, and I used to be like, what is this? And then when I became an adult, I found out that Spawn was black. I was like, what? I was tripping. When I got to middle school, Dragon Ball Z was crazy. Dragon Ball Z was really, really, really popular. So I used to go on the internet and print out pictures of Goku and Gohan and Vegeta, all the different characters, and I would draw them. And me and my friends, they would draw. We would all draw, and I had like some Asian friends. They were super good at drawing, and they could draw off their memory. And it looked exactly like the comic book, and I used to be so inspired by that. I'd be like, damn. So I would try to do the same thing. But yeah, that's probably the first thing that I created as art. Yeah, like you said, I've always kind of been in proximity to art, or like seen it as like at least a hobby for me. I think when I really started taking it serious is when I started doing photography and started trying to even monetize it. Yeah, around probably 2015 when I bought my first camera is when I started taking myself seriously as an artist and a creative. Like when I had the camera, I would go out, and back then street photography was really popular, so I would just go out and try to shoot aesthetics and stuff like that, shoot architecture, figure out light and shadow, and then after that I would try to bring in subjects to those spaces, because I thought those spaces were really interesting rather than just having like a white background, a blue, or whatever color background. I like the depth of field. I like things in the foreground, things in the middle ground and in the background. So yeah, that's when I really started doing things of that nature, going out, putting people in these spaces and trying to tell stories about it, not just take a picture and be like, okay, boom, that was a dope picture just cuz, but like, what's going on in the picture. Why are they doing this, or why are they standing here, or different things like that. So to me, what makes someone an artist is just the simple fact of them trying to express themselves, express their inner world. That's what artists do, or even express the outer world, what we see, what's going on, and express like how they see it. So anybody who's doing that is an artist to me. Anybody that's creating anything is an artist. So with society, we kind of let society put us in a box sometimes, or we let the rules or the unwritten rules of society take control of our life a little bit. But with me, I feel like as long as you have desire and passion inside you, as long as you're like young with spirit, you'll never really get old. So, you know what I'm saying? So as long as your spirit's young, and as long as you keep having the desire to prosper, grow, learn, figure out new things, and you still have that fire inside of you, that's gonna keep you young. And so there is no like, oh, it's too late to do anything. You know what I'm saying? There's so many stories of people that started doing something super late and got successful at it. Just because they tried. It's all about trying. It's all about, if you never try, you already failed. That's the only way you can fail, is if you either don't try or you stop trying. That's the only way. If you keep trying, success is inevitable. That's what I always say. What turns me on creatively? I get inspired a lot by music. Music is like the number one thing that inspires all of my art. So when I listen to a lot of like backpack rap, or lyrical rappers, and I like it. They inspire me the way that they are explaining their situation or explaining the world, and they use these different words that we don't hear all the time, or they put it in a certain order to where you hear it different. It's like the same message that somebody else might have told you, but it's in a different order, and it makes you listen to it more closely. Or they might relate something in history to what's going on now, or whatever they're talking about. And then you have to go, I like going to do research and be like, what was they talking about? How does this make sense? And so that's what inspires me. So if I'm listening to a song and they might just say one sentence, and then that will spark like a poem, or that will spark like, oh, an idea for a photo shoot, kind of retelling a story, from maybe like a snapshot of a moment, or like a comment or something like that. I don't know if there's anything that really will put me off creatively, because even if it's something like undesirable, or whatever, something negative, that still inspires art. That still inspires me to create, in order to transmute that energy or whatever. So I don't know if there's really something that will deter me from being creative, or wanting to create art. It'll probably just add to it. I really wish I knew how to play an instrument, and a couple of times I've tried to teach myself, but I feel like I just really need to lock in to really figure it out. But at this point, I feel like I'm doing other things too, where I don't really have the time. Like I tried to teach myself how to play electric guitar, because I really like that sound, and also I really want to learn how to play the saxophone. That's one of my favorite instruments. I love that sound, and any type of horns, really. I feel like the instruments, they just set the tone. They set the mood for whatever song is going on. Like you don't even need words to feel what the song is about, really. Before, like, if a song has like a long intro, you can kind of tell, like, okay, I know where this is going, because of the way the instruments make you feel. They lay that sonic foundation, and it's also just like kind of science too. It's like the vibes, like the instruments give you good vibes. Like they're on the right frequency. You feel me? So it's like it does something. I feel like um, to your body, like even to your cells, and it just makes you feel good. An early accomplishment that I'm proud of is just getting to be like published as a photographer, because that was like one of my goals, and I accomplished it pretty early, being able to shoot. I got the opportunity to shoot like Life is Beautiful and stuff like that. So I got published online, like in Las Vegas Weekly, stuff like that. So yeah, just getting my work out there and getting exposure is probably one of my earliest accomplishments. For me, it was important just because I guess just for that kind of self validation of knowing that you're doing something and you're actually doing it well to where other people want to see it and want to show it off. So it was important to me just so I know that I'm doing it well. I think what drew me into poetry was like yeah, I am a fan of rap and lyrical rap, and really breaking down lyrics and getting into the message. So, and then I feel like a lot of people try to rap as well. Like a lot of people try to do sports, a lot of people try to do music and rap as well. And for me, I wanted to do that too when I was young. Like I used to have a little rhyme book and everything, and I would write down raps when I was in middle school and stuff, and freestyle in the car with your friends and stuff like that. And I always just really enjoyed that exercise of spitting verses and stuff like that, and having the best verse and making it all make sense. And I also love storytelling. So but when I would try to like do music or get into like, because a lot of my friends do music, a lot of my friends rap, and so I go to the studio with them, and I would usually have my camera and take pictures with them, and we would catch a vibe sometimes. So I would try to get in the booth too and try to rap, but I would always, once I get in like in the booth and under pressure, it's like I couldn't stay in the pocket with my rap. It's like if I rap it to myself and just have that confidence and just blah 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 blah, it sounds good. But then when you try to really rap and be on beat, it's like you start sounding like an amateur. Or me, I started sounding like an amateur. Like so with poetry, it's like I could say the same exact thing that I was gonna say in the rap, but I could slow it down. I could do different things with the inflection of my voice or whatever, and I don't have to worry about, oh, I need to stay in this pocket because the beat's still going, or I need to whatever. Like I can just say what I need to say, and when I now add music behind it, the music is kind of it just adds to it. It's like an afterthought really, but it adds to the experience. So I feel like it's just gonna bring more listeners in that really like music and aren't actually a fan of poetry in the beginning, but with the music they'll be like, okay, let me hear what he's saying, and then that will it'll just merge the two worlds really. Right now, with the newest creative endeavor being poetry, I've just been trying to elevate that. Started doing just going to open mics, poetry slams and stuff like that, and of course that's just a cappella, just your voice. And I think that's good for people to really listen to you, and for you to be able to express your words and everything like that. But I wanted to, like I said, music is always my inspiration. And so once you get like the beat behind you, the rhythm, you can kind of get into more of a pocket. So that's really where I'm trying to take the poetry now. I want to treat my poetry and my artistry the same exact as if I was like a rap artist. Same exact thing, except I'm doing poetry. So I'm doing music videos. I want to go on tour. I want to have a show. I want to do it with a live band behind me. Everything that you see like your favorite artists do, I want to do that exact same thing with poetry. So I want to take it to the highest level that it can. Like one of my goals is I'm a Nike boy. Nike boys all day. So I want to get a sponsorship from Nike, like with one of the first poets to get sponsored by Nike, be on a commercial, do different things that we haven't seen yet from poetry. So that's the goal. I think the one thing about the culture of being an artist that I would change is probably just the how artists sometimes get taken advantage of. That's, if people could just appreciate the art and the artist fully and wholly, then that would be great. You know what I mean? But of course, we live in this, capitalistic society. A lot of people are looking out for them and theirs. So, we get a lot of, great art being stolen, or, just different things like that. Back end shiesty stuff with once the art starts to elevate to get to like these corporate levels and money and stuff like that. It kind of dilutes the art sometimes. So that's the part that I would change, is just try to keep the art as pure as possible while giving the artist a opportunity to live off their art. That's what all artists want to do. We just want to do art. We don't want to do anything else. Like, we do not want to do anything else. It's like, so, and if we're doing great art, just pay us for our art so we can live and keep creating more art. For the most part, the support that you get from other artists, that see you doing your thing, that can empathize with you and feel what you're going through, or just even appreciate your art, because they know the process. They know the journey of, like, not just seeing the end product, but knowing oh, you had to be up all night, you had to redo this one thing 5 times or whatever. So I think the support and the help that you get from the artist community is a really good thing when you find your tribe. So yeah, I wouldn't change that at all. Damn. What would I show the aliens? It would probably be, I don't know, it would be a toss up between, because I really like both mediums that I do right now. So if I had to show one, I'll probably do one, like show them a poem and actually break down the lyrics and how I was thinking, because I would be thinking they're like higher intelligent beings, so they would be like impressed about my cerebral take at it. So yeah, I'll probably show them one of my poems. I'm not really sure exactly which one. Off the top of my head, I might show them this new poem that it's recently new. It's called Love Crimes, and I just like some of the bars in there, so I would break those down for them. Love Crimes is just about, it was inspired during like Valentine's Day, and a lot of people are writing like, love poems or whatever. And none of my poems are really love poems. So I was like, oh, let me see if I can do this. And so, yeah, it's just about really getting a girl and, what you do with her, things of that nature. So yeah, just,
And really get hurt.
Sorry.
Yes, you could learn all this and more.
Wouldn't that suck?
Oh.
Hey, Piccolo, mind if I ask you something?
What is it?
You're not human either, right?
Yeah?
And your dad spit you out as an egg, right?
What about it?
Are you a Yoshi?
Yes, Goku. I'm a green f***ing dinosaur.
Can I ride you?
Her.
I'm darker than blue. Darker than him, her, and you. Darker than the abyss. I used to wish that it was the opposite. Cause when you light, they don't flash the lights for a stop and frisk, and you ain't at risk just because of your pigment. Still can't get that pig stench off. Darker than blue. Like ain't no damn tan man. Darker than the UV rays and the sprays and the stays in the sun. Just for one to try to treat me like they the shoe and I'm some gum. Au contraire, my friend. Try me. I double dog dare, cause mama ain't raised no punk. I'll jump up like deep brown in 91 with the Reebok pump, so don't try to ask me no questions. When I'm done, you'll get stumped, darker than blue. Like call me dark side of the moon, cause I still control the wave. Like how can I be still and still motivated? Still walking around the dangerous streets of the land of the free and the home of the brave. Still getting lynched and locked in a cage. I'm in the fray, and they throwing balls of flame with hate in it. But I'm in my lane, and to their dismay, I stay with it. So next time you throw on that tuxedo or that little black dress that's form-fitted, remember, you merely adopted the dark. I was born in it. Right now we're here at the Petit Loft. This is a space where I that I've curated to like keep me young, keep me inspired, where I do my creative things. I edit my photos over here, and I do a lot of my writing over here, listen to music, which inspires a lot of my writing and photography. So yeah, this is just like kind of a little workspace that I have for myself. Yeah, so the significance of all the little trinkets and little things that you see is just like either stuff from my childhood or things that really like just inspire me. So like all the records, I know people collect vinyl and stuff like that, collect records. And I started doing that too, for one, because I like the album artwork and I wanted to decorate the space, but also because these are all albums that I really like and that I've listened to all the way through. So I just didn't want to collect records just because of get it because of the picture, but these, or just get like classic ones that everybody gets, but these are the ones that I really, so a lot of them are more recent as far as when they came out, but they're ones that I really like, so. Yeah, and then all the rest of the stuff, just stuff that represents me. Got the figurine or the action figures here, going back to my childhood and just different stuff, like my logo. I like to draw a little bit, so I drew like Black Panther right here. There's another Spider-Man drawing right there. A lot of Michael Jordan stuff. Lupe Fiasco is my favorite artist, so I had one of my friends painted that for me. And then I got like these trophies over here from when I used to hoop. Yeah, just shoes, shoe boxes, so just a lot of different stuff. I feel like the way I tackle it is just by really the most recent thing that's happened or that's happened to me in my experience, and then I'll just write on that and get the idea out of my head, especially if I'm thinking about something for like a long time, or something, or an idea keeps coming back to me, then I'll be like, okay, I need to write about it, or create a photo or create a story through a photographic experience, whichever one I feel like doing at the time. So yeah, that's pretty much how it goes down for me, as far as what inspires everything. Once I get that first line out of the way, it kind of just keeps flowing after that, because of the way that I've listened to these lyrical rappers or whatever. I'll try to make my story make sense, and I'm trying to tell a story in the most poetic way that I can, and that has to do with rhyming and different rhyme schemes. I try to switch it up, so not just having an end rhyme, having rhymes in between, and different unorthodox rhyme schemes. So it feels really good once I start, once I get into the flow, and then it just kind of just goes from there. It doesn't really take me a long time to write any of my poems once I start. A lot of them have been finished. Sometimes I'll stop and come back, but I don't know, I feel like with me having a little ADHD or whatever, if I stop something, I might not never finish it. That's how I feel sometimes. So I'll just go and finish it right then and there. So it usually takes me anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to finish a poem if I start. After that, after I finish the poem, then for me, it's trying to memorize it for performance, because no shade to nobody or whatever, but I personally do not like getting on stage and reading from my phone, because then it's like I really can't convey what I'm saying because I'm too worried about not losing my place or whatever when I read. So I want people to like more feel the words that I'm saying. So for me, it's like I have to give a performance, and I can't really do that, looking down at my phone. Yeah, I start vocalizing it. I literally say it over and over and over. I read it over and over and over, and then after I read it over and over and over, I start. It's kind of like a song for me, and even the way that I write is like a song. So one line helps me remember the next, because I'm like, it has to rhyme in some way with this last line, so that helps me remember what the next line is. So yeah, it's just going over and over and over again. And then once I start reading it over and over again, it automatically just kind of goes in your head, and you're like, I remember it without even really, like, not without trying, but without like, I didn't even know that I remembered all that. Like, I'll put the book down and be like, okay, now I'm gonna try to say it without looking. And then sometimes I'll do the whole thing and I'm just like, oh, cool. And then after that, I'll try to do it over and over and over again without looking at it. So yeah. Me, I think there is an advantage to having it stored already, because then you could even like switch it up. You know what I mean? Just like how musical artists do when they go on tour. When they perform a song live, they switch it up. Like, they switch the arrangements up, they switch like even their delivery up a little bit. So it's just like, okay, I done heard the same old cadence over and over because I done listened to the album 1,000 times, and I'm gonna come see you live, and so they switch their inflections up, they can slow it down, they can speed it up. So that's what I think the advantage is of memorizing your work, because then you can even work with, like, if you want to do your poetry to music, you know what I'm saying, you don't have to and you can switch it up, you can slow it down, you can make it fit the music a little bit better. So yeah, I think there's just more things you can do. Yeah, I always get nervous before, like, I don't know what it is, but I just always do, like, even with things that I've done forever, like, so even like playing basketball, like, even if I go to the gym and I'm about to even just play a pickup game, I still have like butterflies, like, okay, let's play good, let's do what we gotta do, like, and it's something that doesn't even really matter, but it's like, I guess they say, if you get nervous about it, that means that you like really care about it. So yeah, every time I go on stage, I'm shaking. Like, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, but then I just kind of lean into the confidence of, like, I've practiced this over and over, and I know it for sure. It's like, really, getting on stage is, you can really psych yourself out, and that's how, like, some people like forget lines or whatever because they're like thinking about it really too much. It's like you're actually thinking too much, you know what I'm saying? Your brain already knows it, so you don't have to be like, okay, let's remember the next line. It's like, no, you already know it. Just go ahead and say it. And that's when you mess up. But so for me, it's like, that's what I lean on when I get on stage. I might be nervous about it, but I'm like, I prepared myself. And so I know that I know this poem, and now it's just time for me to deliver it in a way that the people are gonna feel it. So I'm like, I have to, put on a performance. It's like I've never really acted before, but that's what I liken it to. It's like acting, like, whatever, act out what you're saying. And so, yeah. I feel like, yeah, poetry, it's always like been around. It's one of like the oldest art forms. And like, yeah, some people are kind of like, okay, yeah, poetry is cool. It's like, whatever. They're not like too excited about it really. But I feel like in recent years, it's become really more popular. So now I feel like people are having a little bit different mindset about it. There's been more and more open mics and opportunities to, perform poetry, more slams popping up, more, like teams and even more like a commercialization of poetry. So I feel like it's coming on the up and up as of now. I feel you, like, it was a little bit different like years before. It's like, it was like poetry was like for the poets, but now it's like, there's other people that are not artists, not poets, that are paying to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? They want to hear it, and they don't even write. So it's coming into more popularity now, and I think that's great. I think that's good. And like, so that's why one of my goals is just to take it even further, the same way you would look at whoever, Kendrick Lamar, any of these people. I want you to one day look at me like that. I want to be on tour. I want you to come see a poetry set, and I don't want you to think it's going to be, oh, poetry is going to be boring or whatever. It's going to be the same. I want poetry and pyrotechnics, like that's where I'm trying to go. So yeah, so I work with a nonprofit called Poetry Promise here in Las Vegas, and so the objective is to push poetry through the community, let people know that it is an avenue for them, give people workshops so they can, to help them write their own poetry if they're not very sure like how to start or what poetry is. We teach them about the different forms of poetry, all the things that limericks and haikus and different things of that nature. So we teach you different forms, and then we go to schools and we go to places where kids are kind of like at risk as well, just to help them out, just to help them express themselves, and it's really good. It's rewarding, and it's it helps out the community. So the schedule is kind of like as needed, kind of. So when the organization gets funding, or when they get an opportunity, like for example, like the library district wants, for reading week, they want poetry workshops for that whole week, right? So then they'll select some poets, some teaching artists to go to whichever library they have openings at, and we'll do that. And the library district out here has been very good to work with and receptive, so I've done that many a times as well. Yeah, I feel like it's very important, especially like since they're like cutting out more of the arts and stuff in schools. A lot of the funding is being cut, especially with the political environment that we're in right now. So having the classes, having the workshops throughout the community, in the actual classrooms and in the libraries, is very important, especially for the kids. They come from different backgrounds, or maybe they don't have that much support at home, and they have idle time and things of that nature. So for them to come to the workshops, either like in the summer when there's not that much going on for them and they're out of school, or like right after school, so they don't be in any mischief, and it also gives them an outlet to express themselves. If things are going on at home or elsewhere or in their life, it helps them get it out, so they don't have to lash out and do these other things, and it inspires them to keep writing and to keep going, and to know that hey, this could be also an occupation for you as well. Like it's a thing. It's not like, oh, okay, poetry. It's like, no, you can make money off of poetry. If I told you how much money my wife has made off of poetry for one poem, you'd be mind blown. Literally thousands, tens of thousands. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, you can do it. Like, it's an avenue. So the Vegas poetry community right now, I feel like, is very strong. The slam team that we have here is very strong. They've been doing very well at their competitions they've been going to across the country. There's very strong poets on that team. And yeah, and people are even coming to Vegas to like do features for their poetry. And it's, like I said, yeah, it's really on the come up right now. I feel like it's at the very, beginning of its ascent, and it getting really big. So, and I think you see that, like, I don't know what year it was, but like maybe like a couple years, like 2 years ago or whatever, like America's Got Talent, a poet won the whole thing. And then they got a residency on the Strip. So it's like, for doing poetry. So it's like, that's where we're going, you know. Yeah, so I've been recording all my poems, and at first I was thinking of, you know, recording all the poems, putting them in sequence, and putting out a whole poetry album. But since, you know, this is like my first thing that I'm doing, you know, not a lot of people know me or even know me for doing poetry. So I kind of want to garner that attention and build up that anticipation for an album instead of just, you know, dropping a whole load and then that's just it. Like, okay, boom, there's an album, then people listen to it once and then forget about it or whatever. So right now I've just been focused on putting out just singles, like drop a single each month. That's what I'm trying to do this year. So far I've been pretty good at it. I've dropped 3 singles, and I started in, I think, February or March. So yeah, I've been doing pretty good. I want to keep doing that. So that's the plan for now. Just keep dropping a single every month or every other month. And then at the end of the year, because I'm always writing as well, so then maybe I'll have a whole new material for a whole nother album. Once people are like, okay, where's the album at, bro? You've been doing all these, you know, singles. Where's the album? So that's kind of my plan, just to, you know, keep building up that fan base or people that, you know, enjoy the poetry. And then yeah, put together a whole cohesive project. Yeah, the first single that I dropped is called Pop Out. So that one is just kind of like one of my more fun poems. Kind of just one of the poems where I'm just, you know, talking my shit a little bit. It was inspired by Kendrick Lamar. And so that one, yeah, that one's just like kind of a fun where I'm just, you know, popping my shit, you know what I mean? Just saying, you know, just saying, you know, check me out, basically, you know, I do this, whatever. Yeah, exactly. It's like my I Am poem. The second single that I dropped is called Darker Than Blue. That is just about my experience as a Black man growing up from like childhood to now, and, you know, the different experiences that you have to go through, especially not only being Black, but having darker skin, like being dark skinned. So, you know, just, you know, all those little things that have to do with that, people treating you a certain way, people looking at you a certain way, and yeah. So that's what that one is about. And the third one is called What It Means. That one I wrote about when I was just kind of contemplating, you know, the meaning of life, you know, existential stuff, like what's going on, why are we here? We all trying to figure it out. It's a very complex thing that we're all going through. So it was just me just kind of going through that experience and, you know, just trying to figure out like what's the meaning of life? Why are we really here? What are we doing? We're all trying to figure it out. How can we all figure it out? So yeah, that's the 3 that I have out right now. Yeah, still in the naming process. Haven't figured out what the name's gonna be, because I haven't figured out if all these poems that I've recorded, or if I'm just gonna put them together at the end and put them on a you know, in one project, or if I'm gonna just have all new material. At first, when I was gonna put it out, I thought about calling the project Darker Than Blue, because that just like embodies all of me, and what I mostly talk about in my poetry as far as the Black experience. But yeah, I'm not sure yet. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Is there like or do you want there to be like a constant kind of through line in the project, or is it more just not like Lucy's, but like each poem kind of stands on its own, not necessarily connected, other than like whatever the grand theme may have.
Yeah, I think for maybe the first project, it may be like kind of each poem may stand on their own, but at the same time, it's like most of my poems kind of have like a similar theme, just because I'm just talking about my experience. So it's like a lot of the poems talk about Black shit, being Black. You know, a lot of my poems talk about that. So that's like one main thing. So I'm not really focused on it having the same through line. Maybe like on my second project, I'll try to do like something more conceptual, because also that's what inspires me. Like, you know, Lupe Fiasco, his albums are very conceptual and have one theme, but he still can get off a lot of different vibes. So I kind of try to emulate that a little bit. So yeah, I think that's the direction I'm gonna go in.
Super light question. I see you got MJ is represented real well.
Yeah.
Real well in here. So what's up with the MJ? Like,
Yeah.
what is he representing?
Yeah, for me, I was born in '89, so I watched Michael Jordan for his whole career. I'm a huge basketball fan, huge Michael Jordan fan, of course. I think he's the GOAT, and so he inspires me a lot as far as his work ethic and how serious he took his craft. Like, he was so incessant on being the best. You know what I mean? That it was other sacrifices that he had to take, and he was willing to take for him to get to his goal. And so that's just a huge inspiration, like, as far as greatness, to be great, as far as seeing, like, this is the work that it takes to be great. You know what I mean? Behind the scenes. And it's not just, the shoes and the red jersey or whatever. It's in the gym. It's like doing all the other stuff, working out. And so having memorabilia, even his shoes that I buy, or, posters, whatever, it's like, that's what it reminds me of. It's like, be great. Do whatever you have to do to be great.
I'm not sure if the concept of being a poet has actually changed over the years. I think what I love about poetry is that it's something that is and has been. We can go on and on about slam poetry being new, and yes, the idea of competition in poetry you could say is new if you're not familiar with the history of the Olympics and you don't know that the Greeks competed in poetry and you don't know the history of the troubadours, then yeah, you can think it's new. But there's really nothing new about it. What excites me about poetry today and slam poetry and all that stuff is not the fact that it's this new thing. It's actually more so that in light of all of the media and these screens and this beautiful technology that we have decided to gather to celebrate something ancient. Something ancient that always has been and always will be.
The ale.
I don't know, man. I came from a different school. I came from Cannabis, Eminem. To me, that's up here. Even early Jay-Z is up here. So for me, lyrically, it's a different kind of conversation. But I guess if it's just rapping, technically rapping, making rhymes, making words rhyme, and metaphor here, metaphor there, it's cool. For me, it's more about technically it's good. Beats are good. Everything is good. It's fresh. But to me, the substance is just terrible. So it's like 97% of hip hop is just terrible.
You gotta go Slaughterhouse.
I don't think a lot of those
Slaughterhouse
artists would
good.
consider themselves lyricists.
I think it's super lyricist and it's lyricist.
I think they're rappers. You know what I'm saying? I think lyricist is different. I think most def is the lyricist. I think people who actually, where you can tell there's a little bit more of a poetic intent to what they do, as opposed to people who just rap for the sake of rapping. And you can tell a rapper from a lyricist. And that's coming from me as a rapper, and a lyricist.
Yeah, confidence is as far as getting on stage and performing, is one of the most important factors of your performance to me. And it's because what a lot of people say, what a lot of professionals say, and what is pretty much true is a lot of things that you do is 80 or maybe even 90% mental. It's in your head, because however you feel in your head, that's how your body's gonna act anything out. So if you're not totally confident, if you're oh, I'm not really confident in what I'm about to do, then you're gonna show that on stage. So being confident is one of the most important things that you have to do if you want to deliver a great performance. It's a difference between going up there and kind of maybe fumbling or being nervous, and that shower performance that you do when you're at home. When you're at home, you're doing that shower performance, you are absolutely going all out. You are killing it, because who cares, right? Nobody's going to laugh at me. Nobody's going to, I'm here by myself and I love this, what I'm doing right now. But when you're on stage, you low-key have to do the same thing. No one's there. No one's there. Even though that sounds crazy, that's how I kind of look at it. No one's there. I'm doing the same thing that I did at home in the shower. I'm going crazy no matter, because when you first start, it might not be no one there. So it's like you have to go hard no matter what and go every time, because even if it's one person, two people, three, four, five, whatever, like it might be one really important person that sees it. And that's all you need. You only need like one pair of good eyes to see what's going on, and then boom, you might have a machine pushing you, and then you know what I'm saying, you might get on the fast track, and now they started calling you an industry plant and shit. Like whatever. You know? The way that I feel like a lot of my art reflects the current times is unfortunately because some of the times ain't changed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's reflecting even the stuff that Nina Simone was talking about, like, you know what I mean, like strange fruit and different things like that. Like people, like black people, still getting still getting lynched in the 2020s is absolutely insane. Like the last person I know that got hung was like in 2021. That's nuts, bro. Like, what is we talking about? Like, what is we talking about? And just on some regular, like, old school shit. Like, no, we saw the black dude running through the neighborhood. We ain't like that. So yeah, huh, bro? Come on now. Like, what is we talking about? So it's like there's a lot of the stuff that I talk about is like that, the black experience, experience being a male in America, being a black male in America, um, being a black straight male in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a different experience, I feel like, now than it was years before. And you know, not good or bad, just different, you know. So yeah. Yeah, for sure. To have community is definitely important, because it's gonna be times where you feel like, you know, burnt out maybe, or you feel like, what's really the purpose? Like, is anybody really looking at this? Does anybody really care past me and my like little circle or whatever? Like, and so you need your community there that also know what you're going through, that are also artists and everything, or you know, even people that are just going to, because those are the people that are going to be able to sympathize with you because they've gone through it as well. They felt the same type of emotions. So and they've gone through it, they've gotten past it. So yeah, having community to hold you up at the in the rough times is, you know, very important, because you know it is gonna come a time like when you may feel like um you want to give up. That's how you gonna feel. You gonna feel like screaming, and so maybe, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be like you're gonna be like, man, forget this. But yeah, it's good to have people to be like, no, it's okay, keep going. What you're doing, it matters, your story matters. And you know, whether you see it or not, a lot of times you probably changing lives. Like if you putting your stuff out there, somebody's seeing it that you don't have no clue about, for real. So just keep doing your thing. I do want to see the poetry scene out here grow, keep growing. I mean, it's been growing, but you know, just continue on that path of growth. And but like, you know, it's a difficult dance between like just like kind of like organic good growth and like economic, like money, like you know, glitz and glamour growth. You kind of want to merge the two like very beautifully, like a zipper, but that's way easier said than done. So hopefully it could be like that cool little dance between it becoming more popular as far as like people consuming it and becoming spectators of it, and wanting to pay for it, you know, for the artists, for the good of the artist, so the artist can get paid. That's what I like to see. And you know, I want the local art scene to grow in that way, like people, investors, with the people with the money to support that more. Like that's what Tony was doing before, you know what I'm saying? God bless the dead, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it needs to be more of that, because that's how it was starting to grow. That's how people was like getting on. That's how some people are even on right now. Like really, it's like y'all really trying to y'all. That's gentrification at its finest. Like y'all really trying to do some of that. Like First of all, we in Vegas off top. Like we in Vegas. Vegas lost Vegas is gone soft, bro. Vegas gone soft. What soon as if this all happened when Walmart wasn't 24 hours no more, that's when it started. That's when the bullshit started, dog. Like what? Hold on, what you mean Walmart not 20? I don't care if nobody's in there. If I need something at 4:57, I need to go to Walmart, my dog. Like what? And it's like the casinos and like bro, like what? Everything that was the whole like greatness of living in Vegas. You could be like, yo, I can do anything almost at any time. You feel me? If I really need to. Like that was like the thing. Like you used to go out of town and be like shocked, like people be like, oh, you can't do that. You can't walk around with the beer in your hand. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what?
Bro, I go back home now and I'll be like, oh, it closed down. I'm like, 1:30.
Like, what are you talking about? We just started. Bruh, at home, it's like we only been out for 30 minutes. At 11, bro.
I can't believe that's how I used to party, yo. How I used to go out. And, like,
Low key.
I can't even imagine, like, oh yeah, 1:30, I'm in the house. Like,
Facts. Now I'm just like, what the fuck? It used to be like, oh, the sun out, damn. Sun beat me again, shit. Oh, well.
yeah, Vegas has changed.
Damn.
They've been doing the more family friendly.
Yeah, which is cool. Which is cool. Which is cool.
Want to be more inclusive for the Vegas. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but it's still Vegas. Like,
This is Vegas. I mean, we got parts of like this is Vegas. Like, okay, but the parts of Vegas, don't try to come to the parts of Vegas that's Vegas and do that. Like all the outside Summerlin, Henderson, they got all this shit. And y'all keep pushing that shit out anyways. Go the fuck out there. What the fuck? Don't try to come in here, over here and be like, oh, we want the glitz and the glamour, but be quiet after this time. Like, yeah, like 10, bro. 10. Who is he? Senior citizens? Yeah, they didn't transform into all these businesses and shit. Then you want to tell them to shut up? Just because now you want to put some high-rise condos and shit? That'd be like a motherfucker. That'd be like a casino on the strip being like, oh, we right here next to whatever. Like, we need y'all to be quiet at this time because we finna build a new casino. Huh? You're moving onto the strip. Hello? Like, you're moving downtown to the Arch District. Act accordingly. Like, you came to the party. Don't come to the party and be like, oh, can we turn it down? No, what the fuck? Huh? Go have a party at your crib. Like, what? Oh man, Ferguson, just it being in the downtown area, period. When I first started my photography journey, I used to walk around these parts, um, all downtown, just looking for little cool spots to shoot at. Just seeing the way that it's changed over the years too is really cool. When I first started shooting around 2016. I got an opportunity to shoot Life is Beautiful for like this online magazine that was like local though. So we were like based over here because we were like a sister company to like one of the local publications. And so we had like a little lot back in the back over here in a little trailer and stuff. Airstream, we used to go in there, chill in between the sets, go in the pit, shoot, come back, do whatever. We had writers, photographers, videographers. It was super cool. So doing that back then, like going back to 2016, then coming through. My wife, she used to have a residency here, really with her poetry organization, Beyond the Neon. So she's had like poetry festivals here, like on the ground. So there'd be like books and everything set up right here, like where we're at right now, and then down on the grounds, on the grass and stuff. Different local publishers, poets, things like that. People who write book authors. So that's since back then, about like that was in like 2020. We used to be like inside F the bar over here too, doing open mics and stuff like that. So yeah, that's really my connection to Ferguson, performing on this stage behind us too. doing the open mics for that. Yeah, I feel like Ferguson was big, just seeing um, people perform and just building up that confidence to get on the stage as well, knowing that these are your peers in your local community that you see around town, you see downtown, you see at the bar, you see at the parties, and then you see like how much talent they also have when they get up on stage and do their thing, whatever they do, sing, rap, play instruments, things of that nature. So it gives you that confidence to step out on a ledge and and perform as well when we have things like open mics and um, venues like this, spaces such as this that let you express yourself. So very important to my my journey in its adolescence as an artist. I feel like Ferguson gives you like it's like a hybrid thing. It's like downtown, so it's like low key, right? It can be give you that low key vibe. It's the locals mostly that are coming through, and even the people that come and visit from other places. They are like from these smaller towns or whatever, slower paced towns. So it gives you that homey vibe. It's set up inside of what used to be like residences and stuff like that. So it already gives you that like homey vibe. Um, and then it's also like upscale at the same time. It's very nice. The facilities are very nice. Everything, the grounds are kept very well. They're always upgraded when they can. And so performing on this stage, it's a interesting looking stage. It's a but it looks like a big time stage, and there's even been like bigger names that have performed on the stage as well. So you're in that same space of people that you look up to. So it again, like it'll give you that confidence, like, yo, I'm on the same stage as so and so, whoever I look up to. And if I keep going, I can be back and I can get paid and I can go on tour and I can you know live out my dream. So yeah.
What's poppin'? So much flow, ain't no topping it. So much growth, ain't no stopping it. So much dough in the world, but the circulation is cut off at the top, and it's just crazy how the Army and the Navy say we family. Well, I guess that's why they drive you crazy and then kick you out. You're a distraction like the two planes headed for the towers, same plan, different route. I'm like the bomb strapped on to the infrastructure, trembling and ready to rupture and be disruptive to the system. Right hand to the plan, down goes Sonny Liston. Listen, don't be bold, dig a hole, or be seen strolled on that gurney like him who rolled past that grassy knoll. 9 a.m. in Dallas, they say I'm the silent but deadly, you wasn't even the fart. It's the opposite of flattery. Flatulence would have been the least you can do. I'm here to wake you up. Folgers, I'm a beast with the brew. East is to you where you better face, and you better pray that I don't hit you in your arm, leg, arm, head, and instead live to see a better day. Choose peace, it's a better way, cause if you get in bed with them demons, you won't have to scream to Elohim. Set a screen so you can get open just to fade away. I'm going all in on me, that's a better's way. Grooming, stretching, and reflecting is how the feathers stay. Fly. My oh my, haven't we had a time? I thought I had a good grip, but the seconds keep slipping away. The ticking is crazy. The work has its perks and I'm whipping it daily, flipping it scaly. Underbelly is how the snakes be, so keep your yard in order. I'm far from falling shorter of my greatness, but I ain't made it yet to my fate, so I'll keep my steps in line like I'm trying to skate. He said be a fisher of men while I'm scaling the weight and buying the bait. Got a watch on my belt like how much time are we trying to waste? But you still watching my pockets, ain't it? You need rest, hooked on phonics, working for them alphabet boys, IRS, but I digress.
Advice that I have for other creators is be a student of the game of whatever, you know, whatever your art is, whatever art form you practice. Be a student of the game, you know what I'm saying? The people that you look up to, the people that you think are the illest, study them, study how they do things, even like stuff as far as their process. So be a student of the game. Also, like, learn to have thick skin and take, you know, criticism. And also don't worry about who doesn't matter. Like, if somebody is saying, you know, something negative about your art or whatever, but it's just some Joe Smo or whoever, like, don't get riled up. Don't, you know, just take it as, you know, whatever, and keep going. Keep going. Never stop doing what you want to do. Never stop creating. And I think, you know, that is the life of an artist. No matter if you switch mediums, you know, keep creating, because I feel like once artists don't create anymore, that's when we become depressed. So